This conference will now be recorded.
Good morning, everybody.
Good
morning.
Hey, before we get started with our meeting, we're gonna ask everybody to look at this cell phone signs
I'm
around.
glad you said so.
And yeah, I heard mine down too. And we're gonna actually put them on the silent mode. Or just turn them off. Do we have any volunteers on the prayer? If not,
Okay.
okay.
Thank you, Lord, for making another day that we can come here and do the work of Dooley County. We just pray that you be with us, Lord, as we do what's placed before us. Just give us wisdom and give us the ability to handle this agenda and do what's needed for our people. Lord, we just ask that you be with those that are less fortunate than us, be with those that are sick and afflicted, and those that have lost loved ones in the community. Lord, we pray that you be with them. Just be with our county, our state, our nation, and forgive us, Lord, where we fail you. It's in Christ's name we pray all things. Amen.
Amen. Let's all stand and join me in the pledge of allegiance.
I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
May be seated. We have before you a proposed agenda. What's the
I got 3 items I'd like to add to the agenda. You should have a copy of the agenda attached to your. I'll take that one. I'd like to add those 3 items, please, sir.
I'll make a motion that we approve the agenda and plus the add-on.
I second, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, there's a motion and second. All in favor by the show of hands. Okay, that motion carried. Our old minutes were emailed to all of us. Email and and I got a letter. What's the pledge of the board?
I move we adopt the minutes as recorded, Mr. Chairman.
I second.
Okay, have the motion and second. Do we have any discussion or correction on the old minute before we vote on it? If not, all in favor by the show of hands. That motion carried also. Mr. Steve is on you now.
Okay. Steve, are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Steve, why don't you come on up, and Lynn, why don't you come on up with Steve Edwards with Waste Management's here. Our contract with them for residential and commercial solid waste is up for renewal middle of next month, and that I have to confess that slipped up on me. So I'd ask him, is there a way we could possibly extend the current contract for 6 months or so to give us time to go through the RFP process. So Steve, I'll turn it over to you.
Yes, sir. Morning, everybody.
Morning.
I talked to Mr. Sanders and we met and discussed some options. I had kind of gone over with him where Dooley County is as far as in the market, and y'all are at the lowest residential price in the area, and talked a little bit about the commercial, and you got some very good pricing for commercial customers as well. And talked a little bit further, and I made sure that service was where it needed to be, because our goal is to keep Lynn happy and to make sure service is good. We've really come a long way since the pandemic, and we've really come complete circle and turned service around to where Lynn rarely gets calls. And I think the communication between our team and Lynn's team is very good. Whenever there's an issue, we'll let her know. And talk further with Steve, and I suggested that to give y'all a lot more time for the RFP process, to extend the contract a year. That would be the end of March, I think. And that's kind of where we are. The current rate would not change for residential service. You still get the same number. We're not going to give you a price increase. However, for the commercial, there's a slight bump. Our contract allows us to have a 5.2% CPI increase. Again, we're going to forego that price increase on the residential. We are gonna go through with it for the commercial. And that's really it. Lynn, did I leave anything out?
I don't think so. I'm not having the problems I used to have. We got a brand new army in Kathleen, Georgia now, and they're not coming out of Cordell anymore. I have a real, and in the future, I would like to bring Sherelle and Eddie in here and introduce them to y'all. She is my army sergeant. She gets the ball rolling. I miss something, she's in that little truck, she comes and gets it. I don't have any, I can finally do work for Rodney, and do work for myself and filing for myself, because I don't have all these phone calls. Now, last Friday, we had a little problem, but we had a new guy, something happened to the truck, that's understandable. But I don't have 52 calls a month, 82 calls a month anymore. So I'm very pleased with the operation coming out of Kathleen.
Like I said, our goal is to keep Lynn happy.
Yeah.
And y'all happy as well.
I gotta be happy. I gotta be happy. Now, the increase on the dumpsters, I kind of looked at your figures. I don't usually do the financial part, so I may be blue. But I noticed it was like anywhere from $1 to $10 increase. I mean, that's entirely up to them.
Yeah, it's normally the CPI language is in our current contract, and that would be the change. That'd be the only
And
change.
that's at a 5.2?
5.2.
Okay, that's what I thought.
And it's under Consumer Price Index water sewer category,
Yes,
which is the normal industry standard.
yeah, 5.2 is what I got off the computer.
And I will say that throughout my life as a garbage man, in the last year, cities and counties that go out for RFPs do see a significant increase, but we're willing to forego that increase to give y'all time on RFP. We've been partners with y'all for a long time, and we think that's the right thing to do. Mr. Sanders, did I miss anything?
No, I think that's pretty much, I'm not asking the board to make a decision today, give them time to think about it, because this is all hitting them, but the only thing I would say is, if we were to consider it, I would like to see maybe extend it, get the renewal on January 1 of the calendar year to maybe help keep it in my mind, because this March 14th, it just caught me total. And that's my fault. I mean, I should have had it on my calendar. It slipped through. So that's the only thing I would say about the extending. And I appreciate, I know I haven't gotten any complaints lately, and I haven't heard you saying you've been overwhelmed with complaints. So the service there has been a drastic improvement in the service. And so I think that's good.
That's wonderful.
That's wonderful.
That's wonderful for me too.
And we have had a very good relationship with y'all, and we would like to continue that, but we just feel like we need to go through the RFP process at some point in time, and we feel like this is the time to do it. So other than that, I don't have anything else. I just heard, and I haven't got anything historically, and it's not in our contract, but I think historically y'all have helped. The Chamber of Commerce has 2 local festivals, a big pig jig,
I took care of the big pig jig.
and then a spring
Dilly something.
Dilly dally and.
Dilly
dooley dilly dad or something like that.
I talked to Cindy Lou, and we're good on that.
Okay.
I don't think it's in the existing contract.
No, it's not in the contract. It's not in the contract. I confess that up front. It's not. Okay.
I talked to her, but we're good on that.
Okay. All right.
I think that was more of a courtesy from Adam to do the.
Yeah, man,
report.
it definitely was not in the contract. So.
And I do have one thing to say. When we do sign our contract for the commercial part, and I just said something to Steve about it, and we had this discussion before, they go to a dumpster and it's got a cardboard box sticking out of it. Well, they want to charge you overage. Then Waste Management's calling me from the corporate office. We're not going to pay any overages.
Yeah.
I mean, a cardboard box sticking out is fine. Now, Grandy's out here I have a problem with. He needs 2 dumpsters again. And I'm having that conversation. And then the tractor place up in Pinehurst had theirs overloaded. Well, my instructions to Sherelle, my instructions to everybody at Waste Management and Kathleen, if it's overloaded, don't empty it. Call me. She has my phone number. She can call me on Friday and tell me, look, Miss Lynn, we didn't get this dumpster because it was overloaded. But I don't want any overage charges on this contract.
Got it.
So that's one main thing, because that's $150 to $250. They want to charge the customer for just leaving the cardboard box sticking out. I'm not
They're
playing
not
that.
breaking them down.
Mm.
I'm not playing with that one.
It's
So,
both.
Okay.
I got it written down.
okay.
That's all I
Okay.
said.
Tim, anything you want to say?
No, sir.
Eugene? Tom?
I got a question.
Okay.
Okay, is March the 14th, you said that's when commercial kick in? That's when,
I think the price increase would kick in, April 1.
April 1?
April 1.
And Lynn, you said from 1 to 10, what did that mean? $1 to $10 per?
Well, let's
It's
take
a variance, it's kind of a,
for instance, we're charging $55 now for a 2-yard one-time pickup a week.
Okay,
They want to charge us $56.
okay.
See,
But not by the weight or anything, that's what I was.
no,
trying to
no,
make sure.
not by the
Okay.
way.
We'll need to look at our rates. We may have to adjust our
Yes.
commercial rates when we.
And it's on the back.
yeah, I
Oh,
think I
ain't by
gave,
the weight or
I think
nothing.
I gave Stephen.
There's a comparison on waste management thing. I didn't bring mine with me. But I went through like our 2-yard, 8-yard, and everything we have.
Okay.
And that's from, so usually we don't have any, yeah, we do. We have, it goes from $1 and all the way down to like $10.88. But on 3 times a week, it went up like $10. But that's 3
Can we get a
loads.
copy of that eventually?
Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
I meant to
But I
have that
just kind of
today.
did a
but I
rough
just-
draft. I just kind of did a rough draft and did the arithmetic here on the side, kind of get in my mind what we would be paying differently.
Yeah.
And so that way we can, and if you need a copy of that, I'll give it to you, but it's in my handwriting, not,
Well, I'll get
it's
with
not
we get-
professional.
I'll get with you and we'll
That's
have
what-
it.
So-
a lot of money.
Mhm. And since we don't have time to talk, I was just going back to what you just said about the lid
Mhm.
sticking out. Again, like Eugene said, it's probably because they ain't flattening the boxes.
They're not flattening their boxes. But when you got, now I can understand like Grandy's out here, he had a mattress and he had, people's been dumping in his. He told me that. So
Mhm.
he's got cardboard boxes, he's got pallets sticking out. That's a no-no. We don't do pallets together in a dumpster. But anyway, what my thing is, I got one report from Waste Management, I forgot where it was, had a cardboard box sticking out. The lid was backwards because it was left that way from the truck before. And just like, it wasn't broken down. The cardboard box was not broken down, but it wasn't very big.
Right.
I mean, not like an egg box. And then they want to charge me the overage because it's sticking above the rim of the can. And
Yeah.
that I don't agree with.
Okay, now how much we said the overage was?
The overage was like $150 to
Yeah, well, I think
$250.
we credited that.
Yeah, you did.
And really overages are for people who
Continue.
need more service,
Yeah.
basically. And
Yeah.
it makes,
Yeah.
try to put a,
They're stretching the system.
yes, sir.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then you have some employees that go out, like I told the gentleman at Grandy's, he don't break his boxes down and he don't push his stuff down in. He's probably got a lot of void in the bottom of that
Mhm.
box.
Mhm.
It's just how your employees throw it over in there.
Right.
But Tractor,
And new things start.
Right. With the yeah.
When would the automated residential collection,
Yeah.
what is their expected time on
We're
that?
doing some of that now. And some of it is rear load service, but we're trying to get, because we have a hard time finding a person to come back to the truck, we're really going all automated. And I shared with Lynn a flyer that we're gonna put out, and I think maybe,
Yeah, we've seen it.
Mhm.
so we just haven't sent it out yet based on what y'all are gonna do.
Mm.
But that's kind of our plan, is to do all automated in Dewey County. Most people are used to it, they're pretty good about it, but we wanna educate the customer as best we can that, you've got stuff outside the can, you can't get it. You really need the lid needs to be closed, you can't have it stuffing all, junk stuffing all the way out. And more importantly, just bagging your trash. So we can do that once we decide which direction we're going. Because we'd send a postcard to every resident.
Okay.
I know Sherelle and I had a conversation yesterday about side load here. She said they really haven't started it. She's been trying to train a little bit at the time on side load for here, but it's nothing carved in stone for us yet for side load.
Okay.
She's starting them up in Christian County, since they only have the county to do. then that way you can find out how it
We
works.
started there already and it's so far good reaction.
Yes.
You know, if I may say, my concern there was these rural roads. I don't know. It's a whole lot different than a city block
Yes, sir.
when it eases up there and goes out there and grabs that can. And it's,
That road, we don't get no show.
the placement of the can, when there's no shoulder or very little shoulder on these roads, on these highways, state roads, when these, these 18 wheelers are coming through there, if it's empty, they putting them in, blowing them in the ditch,
Yeah.
But, and it may do it with them.
They do it.
So that's going to be something to be seen, whether that's going to work on Highway 27 and Highway 90 and Highway 40. Of course, 41, you got a good shoulder, but you get on 90 out here, it's a different world.
I think
Yes.
our safety commissioner, is first with our people, and it's not gonna be totally exclusive automated. There'll be some pockets where we're gonna have to do that.
I got you.
But I do see in Cordele, sometimes when I go home on 280, it's easier for the side load to be there to empty the trash because they will go around that truck. They will not stop for the trash truck, and it's got all kind of lights.
Right.
So for safety for them, I was trying to say years ago, why don't you put a side load on our main roads? Because like Margaret and Kirsten was out on Highway 90. She called me and she says, oh my gosh, we nearly just got hit. He jumped across the ditch, landed in these people's yard. The semi truck, there was a car coming, went around them. She pulled the truck off in a little void in the field to keep from getting hit. So main roads was what my always was concerned with. Why don't we have side loads on the main roads instead of have a guy getting off and risking his life, So like dirt roads may be what we need to address, but we'll get to that point.
Yes, ma'am.
We'll get to that point and we'll go from there. I think we can handle it.
Well, one other question.
Okay?
Y'all ain't had nobody fall over in the dumpster, in the commercial dumpster, have you?
Not really, not.
Like the lady on TV, she fell over in it and they sort of took her to the landfill.
No, we don't have that.
That's happened a couple times.
Yeah, I know. I saw it on the news the other day.
She might have been there to keep warm.
I-
This time of year.
That's exactly what it was.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, homeless.
homeless,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
No, I haven't got any reports on that, David.
Be safe.
I hope I don't.
Okay. Anything? That's it.
Y'all have a blessed day. Thank you.
Thanks, Steve.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Steve.
Thank y'all.
Thank you, Lynn.
Thank you, Lynn. Okay, let's see here. Let's get back to. Where's my little mouse? Okay. Oops. All right, we'll have the financial report for January at the next meeting. Number 3, just a reminder, Dooley County is allowed to have 2 representatives on the Middle Flint Health and Wellness Board. Miss Betty Lamb currently serves as a representative, and we have the other position is vacant. Keep that on the agenda until we come up with a nominee. And also there's a vacancy on the DFAX board for a term that expires June 30th of 26. So we'll keep that on the agenda. And we took care of 5 with Steve Edwards. All right, the roof at the Williams Gymnasium. Brandon, you want to come up? I believe, Mr. Chairman, you had a chance to look at it. What do you suggest?
Well, again, from my experience with it, and we both went up and on top of it. I personally speaking, from what a little bit I know about roof and stuff, but it was just probably one of them storms where the wind was in it, in the rain and stuff, and then the water was sort of running up on the tin and stuff, and it had to be on that lower part. But that's the only place that indicated, because water normally, when you got a leak, it normally give a history of it. Water don't run sideways, it runs straight down. The rest of the roof, to me, looked pretty good. It might need some caulking, and then we looked at some of the screws, and I told them, as long as they ain't leaking, I wouldn't tamper with anything else right now, because you might create a leak. But I just couldn't see other than fixing that lower end down there. Somebody looked at the mean. Already tried it. Yeah, right there at the very bottom by the vehicles there, where you see that unusual looking on the other end.
Next to the building.
Be right there. Somebody already called themselves, rigged that up right there. But that's where the leak is, right there. That's exactly where the leak is. It isn't. It wasn't a leak nowhere else. And
There was a leak on the other side of the building.
what?
In the
Oh, you did,
Section
yeah.
10.
I mentioned that. Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did. We saw that right there. And the only other thing, the reason that the end blew off that, I don't think the gable rakes on it wasn't. That's sort of hard to tie it into them brick, but they could have got some cement screw and tied them. That's why the wind blew it up. But again, you can't do nothing with that. With weather, I mean, you do the best you can to try to fix it so it won't happen. But I just didn't see, not a $10,000 worth to be.
Total roof.
No, I didn't see that. I mean, that just a little maintenance there and that'll cover that. But we went up and I told, Brandon or whatever his suggestion is on it, we need to share it with the rest of you all. But I couldn't. I didn't see it, man. Sometimes you get leaks on the house one time, and then it might not leak no more in another 10 or 15 years. But it's because of the way the wind is blowing. But that's what I saw.
We did have some mighty strong wind.
Yeah, I mean that's and the water not supposed to run up here. But some of these storms, it runs up here, and
So you're suggesting just wait and see?
that's what I said. Let's get a little history on it first before we actually keep. If we continue to do it, then we got an issue. But right now, as I see it, and we look, and what need to be, we went in the bathroom where it was actually leaking at, and some of the paint was actually peeling off the walls and stuff. I mean, they might need to be addressed. All the bathrooms in there. I happened to see that. It wouldn't hurt to get in there and sand that off or blow it off and repaint it back. But the top, man, like to me, it's in pretty good shape. From what I'm saying. But again, I told Brandon to come in and give his 2 cents worth in it like I am.
What was the other spot? You said back where?
Well, the other spot was on the other side over there. Yeah, coming on there.
Was it coming through over there? How was it coming through over there?
Now I saw some screws up,
Mm.
and see, it's a possibility. I couldn't that where the screws were backing up out of the tin.
Mm-hmm.
See, the water could have been because you ain't got that rubber seal there no more. Once the screw, then they was up pretty good. I think Brandon said he went and screwed some of them back down, up there before. And you might get up there and replace the those, with a bigger screw. You're gonna have to go with a bigger screw when you take that out right there with bigger screw with that gummit on it, to keep it from leaking. But it's a possibility, and that almost where if we talk, that looked like to me that way the water might have came in at right around with the screw backing up out.
We're just gonna wait.
Yeah, we're waiting. Yeah, I mean they're gonna be. Yeah, we put on quite a few metal roofs, so I mean that's what I see. And then if we go back and do it, and like Brandon said, they didn't really cut the bricks. They should have actually cut and put you call it a sidewall. You should have cut the brick and then had a sidewall to run up in the brick. That would eliminate all the water.
Along that flash in there?
Yeah, exactly. Right up that line there. They didn't cut it. They caulked it out pretty good. And the caulking for the most part still, holding. But you can see where eventually it started to crack a little bit, but still you hadn't seen no water damage there, from there. That's a whole lot cheaper to replace than $10,000.
Okay.
Brandon?
I'll take notes.
Okay, but that's what I say, just because it happened one time, that don't mean that it continue to happen. If it continue to happen, we got an issue.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Have a good one.
Thank you. Okay. Okay. I'm still working on a set of requirements for new roads in new subdivisions, so I'll try to have something at the next meeting on that. Pass all that. Item number 8, had a request from the city of Lilly. The city clerk called and said that the city council requested assistance from the county with putting gravel on the unpaved portion of Railroad Street. And this is just an aerial photograph of Lilly. This is Highway 90. This is the railroad. And there's a city street that goes right alongside the railroad here. And it's when you turn off Highway 90 onto Railroad Street, it's paved till you get this portion right here where I got it highlighted in red. That red section would be the unpaved section of Railroad Street. And then once you get outside the city, it's a dirt road all the way up here to McGee Road, which is the paved road that comes off of Highway 90 by the cotton gins up to the railroad. And then it's a dirt road the rest of the way. But the city's asking for assistance from the county to put gravel on that section of Railroad Street.
Do they plan to buy the gravel? Or they want us to buy it?
No details other than they requested assistance. So I reckon they're waiting for a proposal back from us.
That's inside the city limits too?
Yes, sir.
It's been our experience. you
Sure.
know, Equipment, manpower, but not product.
That's what our normal practice is.
So it's dirt right there then, right?
It's not- red
So-
section is dirt.
So who been scraping it? Nobody?
If the county's been scraped, when the county scrapes the rest of
Yeah, no kind
this
of
outside
road.
the city, we scrape it. I inquired why, I mean, what the purpose of the gravel, because there's no residences on that section. And I wasn't real clear on the reasoning behind it other than cut down on dust.
Well, I when that train stopped,
They go that way.
yeah, some of them do go that way, and that about the best bypass. It ain't the best because if they keep right down West Road, that would be the better bypass. But you know, you can actually, when that train be sitting there in Lilly for a long time, man, you actually can go down that road right there. Yeah, get ahead of it, right?
So the train doesn't block this crossing up here when this one's blocked?
Yeah, most of the time it does.
Both of them blocked at the same time?
They be just that long.
Okay, that's what I was wondering. I didn't know.
But you know what I was suggesting on that, I think they ought to put up a sign saying, you know, when the train is across the track, you know, right there on West Road. I mean, let that be for until they come up with another solution for trying to get around the train. Let that be the bypass, because a lot of people that from the area, they go that way on West Road, and then they go up and get on 230 and go back and get on Highway 90, rather than sitting there for 15 or 20 minutes. You know, especially the truck drivers don't learn that, because I can tell good when the train cross track.
Really?
Yeah, I can tell, because it'd be so much traffic on that road.
Traffic picks up on West Road.
Right, exactly. But they won't hit no deer though. You know, the deer wait on well. But now then when they coming through, I mean, that would be, to me, that would be a good suggestion for them to put there until, you know, we do something about that. It's a, you know, where traffic can be detoured this way until the train moves. That way you can keep right on going.
Do you want me to respond that if the city buys the gravel, the county will?
Well, that's all we ever did.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
Yeah. We always fronted them.
Okay.
Yeah, they fronted the material. We fronted the labor.
Okay, all right, I'll respond back to the city on that. Item number 9, Tax Commissioner Paula Smith requests that the county commissioners adopt a resolution electing not to require mobile home decals. There's a law on the books that for mobile homes, when you pay your taxes, you get a little sticker. And years ago, it used to be policed and enforced. You had to display that sticker on the front of the mobile home. That way, when folks rode by, they knew you had paid taxes on that mobile home. nobody in Dooley County has policed that or enforced that and in most counties, nobody is policing that, enforcing that. The state recently, I think in legislation that the state passed back in 21, gave the counties the authority to opt out of requiring a mobile home decal. And that's what our tax commissioner is asking the county commissioners to adopt a resolution opting out of not requiring the mobile home decals on mobile homes. Since nobody is currently enforcing it, it's just an extra expense she has to do to order the
Save the county.
order the
Has no
decals.
use.
It's serving no purpose whatsoever because, and it's confusing, mobile homes are taxed two different ways. If a mobile home is attached to the land, if I own the mobile home and the land, then the decals don't apply to that mobile home. It only applies to the mobile home if I own the mobile home, but I don't own the land. So the theory about being able to ride by and see if the tax has been paid isn't the case, because if I own the mobile home and the land, I'm not required to put a decal on it anyway.
Okay, say that one more again now. Cause this sort of made me, I want to hear what you got to say.
If I own the mobile home, as I understand it,
Okay.
if I own the mobile home and the land, I pay the property taxes on the mobile home when I pay the property taxes on the land in December.
Okay.
But if I only own the mobile home and don't own the land, then I have to pay taxes on that like in April. And that's the ones that are required to have, state law requires to have the decal. If I own the mobile home and the land, I'm not required to have the decal. As I understand.
I think you can go in there and request though, that to put it on there. But if you don't never go request it, they just keep billing it separate. But you can go in there and request that the mobile home be added to the property taxes land wise.
Yeah, I think there's a process.
But if you don't do it, they can still bill you both ways.
But
They still paying taxes, don't see.
But the tax commissioner is in favor of this, and I talked to the assessor's office just to make sure there wasn't an issue on their side, and they didn't see an issue with doing this, granting this request from the tax commissioner.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion we approve a resolution granting the Senate bill there that she don't have to.
Opting out of requiring mobile home decals.
You said it.
I second.
Okay. It had the motion and second. Do we have any other discussion on it before we vote on it? If not, all in favor of it? That is unanimous.
Let me get the chairman's signature before I get it and let you get out of here. Yeah, right there on that box.
It wasn't writing a few minutes ago. I was looking over that secretary. When they got rid of sign that, did you see I've been over here scratching on that trying to make it right?
Don't want
Don't want that. No, I understand.
Okay, item number 10, at the December 21st meeting, the county commissioners denied a rezoning request by Aquarius Bullard. Mr. Bullard is appealing that decision, and the county commissioners will hear that appeal at our next meeting, the February the 15th meeting. And at the November 13th meeting of the Planning Commission, they approved a request for a conditional use for a cell tower, and that decision is being appealed, and the county commissioners will hear that. I believe Bert told me he was scheduling that for the next meeting, the March the 7th meeting. And we'll be getting notices sent out about that. And that appeal will go to the county. Y'all will hear, the county commissioners will hear that appeal as well. Item number 12, General Dynamics has submitted an application for a conditional use for the construction and operation of a cell tower on parcel 101-7, which is located on Pleasant Hill Road. The owners of the property are Cedric and Heather Cobb. The Planning Commission will conduct a public hearing on this matter at 5:30 on Monday, February the 12th, to receive public comments. The Planning Commission will make a recommendation to the County Commissioners regarding this conditional use, and the County Commissioners will conduct a public hearing at the February 15th meeting. Item number 13, Dooley County will once again conduct a scrap tire cleanup event for all Dooley County residents from February the 5th through the 8th. That's next Monday through Thursday from 8 o'clock to 5 o'clock at the Dooley County Public Works Department. And residents may dispose of passenger car tires, truck tires, and tractor tires free of charge during this event. But tire retailers cannot bring their tires out there. As I understand it, tire retailers, when you go buy a tire, you're paying them a fee to have that tire disposed of. So they've already gotten paid to dispose of the tires. And we got a grant from the Georgia Department of Natural Resources to fund this. So there's a quota of tires we're going to be able to take. So it's on a first come, first served basis. And once we met the quota, then we'll have to stop accepting tires. So everyone's encouraged to come early. And tires on rims will not be accepted. So it's just the tires, not the rims included. And tires from tire retailers will not be accepted. And if anybody has any questions, they should contact the Public Works Department.
Really like this, Mr. Steve. The last time we had this program right here, we had a big turnout with tires?
It had a tremendous turnout. And actually exceeded the initial quota, but fortunately at that time, DNR had some extra money that other programs didn't use.
Yeah.
So we were able to get DNR's grant totally funding our program. But DNR has told us, hey, we can't guarantee there's going to be extra money. So stop when you get your quota and then contact us and see if they have extra money or something. So, but yeah, we've done this. I think this will be our third or fourth time. And I know the most recent previous one, they had a big turnout,
right?
A large turnout. So, okay, item number 14, consultant. We got a consultant scheduled to meet with the county commissioners and the planning commission on February the 13th to discuss updating our comprehensive plan and our zoning ordinance. This kind of sort of came out of the training we had last month from the representative from the UGA Institute of Government, Carl Vinson Institute of Government, and came down and sort of did an update on planning and zoning. And she stressed the need, the county's comprehensive plan needs to be updated and your zoning ordinance needs to be updated. Historically, we have, as far as the comprehensive plan, we have relied on, we used to rely on Gerald Mixon with River Valley Regional Commission to do our updates for us. And sad to say, we didn't really have, we were never able to get a whole lot of input into the process. So he did both, but the bulk of the work himself. The comprehensive plan, as zoning issues become more and more prevalent, more and more important, the county commissioners and the planning commission need to become more familiar with our comprehensive plan and our zoning ordinance. And so this consultant's coming down, gonna meet with us. There'll be a meal provided. So if you could, I think 8 of the 9 members of the planning commission have RSVP'd. They're planning to be there. Hopefully, the majority of the county commissioners can be there, and Glenn's even invited some representatives from the cities to be there. And several cities have already RSVP'd to have a representative there. So I would encourage, if you could, I would encourage you to attend that meeting, and we'll send out a reminder about it. Let's see. One of the items I asked to be added to the agenda, the Georgia Department of Transportation has approved the county's 2024 LMIG application. That's local maintenance improvement grant for road paving. The county is eligible for $719,499.98. And as a matter of fact, the state we have already received our check from DOT. So I would like to request authority to open a separate checking account. It just makes the bookkeeping a whole lot cleaner. If and when the state comes down and does an audit, I'd like to have a separate checking account for every year LMIG. So, and I'd like to request it be set up just like the rest of them, set up at South Georgia Bank Company. All checks require 2 signatures of the chairman, the vice chairman, the county administrator, or the county clerk. So I'd like to get a motion to approve that.
So move, Mr. Chairman.
So,
There's been motion and second. Do we have any other discussion on it before we vote on it? If not, all in favor by the show of hand. Okay, that motion carries.
Thank you. Okay. At the meeting we had out at the Business Development Center last month with all the department heads, just tossing out ideas. One idea is Rosa Childs at the courthouse, Clerk of Superior Court, throwed out the possibility of a new wheelchair ramp at the courthouse. Glenn reported to me that a couple of commissioners had asked him to sort of explore that. Is that something the board wants is that a project the board wants to explore, or where we at on that?
Well, let me ask you before what about in the back there? I can't remember.
they got a ramp.
There's a ramp in the
There's
back.
a ramp in the back.
What I was thinking.
He's in good shape.
Uh-huh.
I just know,
Well, what's the difference coming in the back and
I failed to talk to Miss Rosa. I didn't exactly understand what the
Andrew been asking that question.
purpose of it was.
Well, I think if they are gonna look into it, we're gonna look into it, as long as it's a metal one, not made out of wood. The metal ones that, the rails.
Well,
You don't need to be stuck out in front of that building either.
Yeah.
well, that's an issue there. I mean, as I understood it, they wanted to get it on the front to make it more convenient for the public, so they know where the ramp is. But the problem with that is, you got just a second. All right, this is.
It almost be stuck all the way around the building, the high
Yeah.
it is off the ground.
Yeah, the way, or a way, I ain't gonna say it's the only way, but the way Glenn went and looked at it. And let me back this up. And what he's saying, you'd have to, cut out that wall there.
That's right.
You would you'd come down to somewhere right here in front of this
Stay in the back.
to a landing.
Yeah.
Then you'd have to
Wrap it back.
go back that way because it can only be so steep. And the ramp can only be so long before you have to have a landing. So it would go back, hit another landing, and then come back to ground level. And
Well, he already done marked it off.
well, he was, like I said, he said 2 commissioners mentioned it to him, so he jumped right on it. But that got a lot of folks stirred up when he jumped on it. And what y'all doing? What y'all doing?
How we gonna get paid for it?
And then it would have to, you'd have to have a sidewalk coming out here to this. And all that would be right there in front of, on the front of the courthouse.
I would say folks that are local and use this courthouse, they know there's one in the back. So the
There's
people-
signs indicating the wheelchair ramp at the back, so.
Where's that sign at? On the front porch?
I'll have to go back and look and see.
Yeah, I would handle it with signage. I mean, you provide one, you just need to park down in that area on the side. It's-
Okay.
and
All right,
have
I
access to it.
I didn't know how serious I wanted to.
Know the two.
Well, my thing about that is, since I'm a little bit in construction, I know how they're supposed to be designed to meet the code. It's an inch a foot. So if that thing, from the ground, when he measured it from the ground to the floor, if it's 60 inches, you got to have 60 feet.
And then, to me, another
Dealing with
issue,
the historical building.
and another issue is you got to deal with this little right here,
That's right.
right there at the front door.
It's the same thing apply there.
You
Whatever,
have to have-
however many inches, you
you're
got how
gonna
many
have to
feet you got to
have it
have
all.
coming out that way.
You know, and it's all doable.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be pretty expensive.
You're right. Yeah, you measure from right there to the bottom of that the stuff down to the bottom there.
All right, well,
Yeah.
like I said,
but,
we'll put that on hold for right now.
Yeah.
Okay. Next item. Lee Harris's term on the Board of Elections and Registration expires December 31st. And honestly, that's a District 2 representative, and I understand Mr. Mixon's working on trying to get a representative. Mr. Chairman, that's all I have, I do believe.
something ain't right.
Y'all seen that big old tall thing going up the unit by the railroad track? I don't know what it is. You see, man, that thing is like, man, you have to break your neck to look up.
No, I understand. All right.
Is
Well,
that it?
yeah, but Tony's always your time now when we come to the end. Steve should have looked over there at you. I don't know why he looked over here
I
at
don't
me.
think so. That was it. Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we adjourn.
Second.
Okay, I have the motion and second. Now, this is how it used to be alone. Back when I first got here, we get out about this time.